All right, so let's talk about interior tech. Starting off with the, what's it called? The pièce de résistance. It's this infotainment screen right here in the middle. Now this is Ford Sync 4, I believe, which is Ford's latest infotainment software. And it's absolutely incredible. First of all, this screen is huge. It's 12 inches. So if I were to put my hand right here, you can see it takes up like 2 of my hands. So it's massive. And most importantly, everything in this screen is super fluid, it's super responsive, and it's super fast. There's no real waiting around between any of these screens. It's not slow or laggy. There's no input lag. There's no visual lag, which is awesome when you're using a screen like this on a day-to-day, because you don't want that lag. It kind of interferes with your daily driving. But it's awesome. Like, just for example, if we're to go into navigation, there's a whole bunch of settings in here. But if we're going to navigation and make it bigger, look how big this looks. It's awesome. Here's your audio screen. You could have all your audio on this side, and you still can retain your map on this side, which is really, really important, really, really cool. But let's say you want your map to go back to full screen. You just tap this button right here, and the map will then take up the full screen. Press this to go back into audio, and the audio will then pop up on this side, which is pretty convenient. Obviously, in this system, you can go into apps and settings for all your details. Within apps, you can see it has CarPlay and Android Auto. Pretty standard stuff these days. It has all your settings in here, so this is a whole bunch of information to dive into. And you also have a couple of features here for towing, driver's assistance. If you press this button on the side, it goes through some of your key apps that you might want to access on a day-to-day or frequent basis. So you have trips, phone, navigation, zone lighting, off-road stats, fuel economy, all that kind of trip computer type stuff is all located on the side for your key vehicle settings. So you can also see a summary of your trip kilometers and all that. Very cool stuff. I'm super impressed with Sync 4 and super impressed with this 12-inch thing over here. Similarly, you also have a terrific screen that's located in your dashboard. So on the left, you have a pretty traditional speedometer. On the right, you have a customizable digital display. So you have your off-road mode, your tire pressure mode. You could configure how you want that to look. There's a comm screen, which just makes this thing on the left a little bit bigger, so you don't have any distractions on the right. You can go to your fuel economy, your trip. It's all really, really cool stuff. So if we look down here, you have this swivel wheel. And first of all, just take in how cool this looks. Like, this looks sick. It's awesome. And it stands for GOAT mode. So GOAT in this context means go over any terrain, or go over all terrain, one of those two. And it's what the Bronco was introduced at back in the 60s, was the go over any or all terrain vehicle. So that's why it's GOAT mode. So if I were to swivel this wheel here, the display changes on this side. So right now it's in sport mode. If I swivel it to slippery mode, you can see the whole display changing, and look how cool that animation is. And then there's 2 off-road modes here, which is mud and rut, and also, oh, it's changing the off-road settings, which is why that's happening. And there's also a sand mode. And then you can go all the way back onto the other side for your normal mode and your eco mode. But just these graphics and these visuals are so, so cool. There's also this cool view on the right that shows you your current drivetrain configuration. So right now you can see it's in 2-wheel drive mode. If I press 4 auto on the center dial, you can see it's shifting the progress, and now you can see that the whole thing is lit up, indicating that it's in 4-wheel drive mode. If you want to go back into 2-wheel drive mode, press that. It'll shift the all-wheel drive system, and it'll go back into 2-wheel drive mode. I love this system, and I think it's way better than what the competition has out there right now. So this is awesome. Great work for it. So in addition to this being super clear and super responsive, just being a great overall infotainment and display, this car also has a really, really good 360-degree backup camera. So I'll put it into reverse. You can see here you have the camera, and you can see here you have the 360-degree view. So let's reverse into this parking lot here, and you can see how accurate this actually is. Okay, excuse my bad parking job, but that's a pretty impressive 360-degree camera. And up here, you also have the option to change the view that you have. So you can make a full screen, just this. You can make this very cool view, which is kind of like this like U shape that shows you 3 different angles when you're backing up. And you go back to the normal one here, and then you can kind of zoom in into the particular area. So awesome backup camera system, and on this 12-inch screen, it just looks tremendous, and the resolution is great. I'm super impressed with the screen and the infotainment, man. I'm telling you.